everyone. How you guys doing? I'm gonna have a class after this, I think. We'll see how I feel at the time, but, yeah, I want to talk about, the Chinese zodiac, if you guys want to know about it. I like to study it extensively. Damn, sky is really bad looking right now. It's like just muddy and dirty. Dirty, dirty, dirty sky. Look how bad it looks. I mean, isn't that a sign, my friends? Like, with all the beautiful blue skies, and I haven't seen a starry night in Salina for a while. Usually you have the most gorgeous starry nights. Tonight it looks like the Smoky Hill River, muddy. But I guess the farmers like that. They might think it's, I don't know, say full of water maybe, or dust. I really don't know. One of the two, water or dust. Probably water. Cloudy heads. I don't know. But anyways, I'm going to talk about dudes named TJ. I don't know. But anytime I meet a dude named TJ, most of the time, but the vast majority of time, he's always the type of guy that, like, I want to look like or be like. If you know what I mean. That's like, I don't know, most guys that are named TJ, they always seem to fit a certain characteristic for me. So, yeah. Not only do they gay bait me, but yeah, I want to look like that. Like, I don't know what it is. I think like TJ just like, I don't know who gives these guys their nicknames, but apparently someone knew to give that their son the name TJ for some reason. It's just like a synonymous undertone of fuck. Thought that was lightning. But yeah, TJ. I always thought like that was like the I don't know, like the level of like manliness you had to be. You know, a TJ. So you just seem to be equipped with everything right, you know, both looks, like like steed beefcake muscles and everything else just looks right. Like every TJ I've ever known. Just the it just seems like for some reason their parents knew they were going to be a TJ. You know? Like, yeah. So I didn't end up a TJ, though I would have liked to have been, but yeah. Um, yeah, TJ. To me, they always seem like the guys that got the perfect fit. If you know what I mean. A TJ. Yeah, TJs. Something about them. I don't know what they are, but I don't know if that's a white thing. You only give nicknames like TJ to certain guys, if you know what I mean. Every TJ I've ever known, every TJ fits the same category. I don't know what it is, but so yeah, maybe someday I'll be like a TJ, if you know what I'd be, you know. So yeah, I'm planning on talking about the Chinese zodiac. I think you might like it. It's interesting. It might help you find the perfect mate if you're looking for the perfect mate. And whether the mate you're with may not be your perfect mate, and you might see evidence of it by looking at, well, maybe this person isn't the right one, but this person might be a little bit more compatible. I'm not saying, go cheat on them or anything, but if you're both unhappy, why try to kill each other? you know, there's no point. If you can find your perfect mate, it helps a little bit along the way. But I'm not saying go and divorce your wife because you've been with her for like 70 years already. I'm just saying, this can also apply to friendships too. Like people you might have a compatibility with that you didn't think you did, but you might say, wait, there's something about such and such that really attracted me. Why was it? You might know your astrology or Western, like I'm a Sagittarius. I get along with Aries, Aquarius, Gemini, Leo, and Libra, but I don't get along with Capricorn, Pisces, uh, what is it? Pisces, Cancer, Virgo, Taurus, and what's the other one? Taurus and Capricorn. Did I already say that? Taurus and Capricorn. Pisces, Cancer, and Pisces, Cancer, and I forget now what the other one is. It's not Aquarius, is it? No. It's, I'm still working on my Western, even though I know it. So, yeah. Still working on my Western. But the Chinese one, I got it down pat. Like, I've been studying that one for years. I'm working on the Western one, though. But it does help. I don't care too much about my incompatibility with water and earth signs, but I do like the fire signs and the air signs. I always seem to have something in common with them. I feel like earth signs, Western astrology, is always a fucking struggle with them. Like I'm always battling them. My mom or my dad and my sister are earth signs, so we're always fucking fighting. You know, like I'm a fire sign and they're an earth sign. My mom's a air sign, so like I know she's hot headed and I could just burn through it and walk away, but not with my sister and my dad because they're earth signs. They're pretty firm in their like, how they feel about things. Or my mom, she'll just burn it through like hot air and then go on. But I don't know. It all works in tandem, I guess, to some degree. But also, like, yeah. I'm still working on those. But the Chinese zodiac might help you look at a new perspective of things. It's a lot different than Western, I think. Like the Chinese zodiac looks at like different dimensions of a person and how it's calculated in numbers, like and graphs and charts. So not your typical, but even the basic concept behind it, any person can learn. It's just the foundational, just applying the foundational aspects of it. You learn so much about who a person is deep down. Like I don't know, on a spiritual level, how it influences a person. So, but you have to go based off. I don't know. It's questionable. It's a lot of controversy, but lunar versus Chinese calendar or Asian calendar. I'm going to just call it the Asian calendar from now on. Everybody wants to fight tooth and nail about it, but we can call it the lunar calendar if you want. It sounds pretty, in my opinion. I love the moon. If we could see it tonight. Anyways, usually we can in Salina. It's big and bright and beautiful. Must be dirty in Salina today. Real dirty. I love it when the moon's shining, though. Big and bright and beautiful. It makes it look like another planet. Because we can see so much of it from here. There's no mountains or hills that encumber us. We just see it big and bright and beautiful in the sky. If you know what I mean. But it looks like Salina's kind of dirty lately. One time I saw the moon going up while I was walking up Crawford Street. I was like, oh my God, that is the most beautiful image of the moon just up there on Crawford Street, like way up there, up on the hill part of it. It just looked futuristic, I don't know, bright and beautiful. I think it was a tinted, almost like pinkish red at that time. It was during the day, like the evening. So it was just beautiful sitting there. I guess you can call it, like, what do they call that? Manhattan sunset thing. The Manhattan, when the sun goes down and between, like, I don't know what it's called, when the Manhattan Henge, like Manhattan Henge, is that what they call it? When the sun equinox, I don't know. It looks all futuristic and cyberpunk. When you go, I've heard about it, but I've seen similar phenomena, natural phenomena in Salina. Since we can see so much of the sky, we're not encumbered by skyscrapers like New York City. I have to look it up. No, I have to. Manhattan something. Manhattan. It's like a sunset, or I don't know. It goes right between like two skyscrapers or something. But yeah, I saw it going up that street down there, going up east. It was just sitting there, looking like a beautiful moon. I've never seen it like that before, but it was beautiful. But tonight we have like slightly dirty skies. Dirty, dirty skies. I was hoping for a beautiful, bright, starry night. But anyways, it's not much to see, I guess, in Salina tonight. It's not as pretty. Maybe the tornadoes are coming or something, and all the boys are getting bricked up for that. You know. But usually that happens in the spring, but sometimes it happens in the fall, where all the dudes get bricked up for the tornadoes and they go chase them. Like they're gonna like rope in like a wild like Mustang or something. It's funny. It's funny. It's pretty cool. I've never been on them because I'm scared of. I don't think I'd survive one if I had to, but if it got too like dangerous. But don't say I didn't been in one at one time or another, just at home. But I mean, not that it hits hard in Salina, but you do get the winds and you do get the rain and the hail. You may not get the tornado in town because of the. I don't know if this is true, the Smoky Hill River. I don't know if that's true or a legend, but somehow the Smoky Hill River and it's the way it flows and cuts through the city, it avoids like a lot of in-city tornadic activity. So when tornadoes hit in Salina, it's usually outside of Salina, on the outskirts versus inside the city. I've noticed that living here for 40 years. I can't think of a time where it actually hit inside of the city, but it's always hit around or outside of the city. I mean, it's come close a couple of times. I remember one time it came so close but it didn't hit us. It went outside of the city still. I just can't imagine a category, what, 7? Is that how high it gets? 7 or 8 or 9? Just like barreling through Salina and fucking taking everything out. That would be scary as hell. But it's always a possibility. But I don't think I've ever heard of that happening, maybe a long time ago. But as of now, I haven't heard of anything. Sometimes you can look in the sky and see it, though, here. Like it's swirling around, even from here, but if you live in a less populated, dense area of Kansas, uh, you're more likely than not to experience more tornadic activity in your area. So if you live in some small town outside of, I don't know, more densely populated areas, then yeah. Like Greenberg, I guess Greenberg was the big bad one that happened a couple years ago. But I don't think Greenberg is as populated as Salina. I don't know, but I don't think it is. I heard that they got pummeled to bits, but Salina, I've never living here. for 40 years, going on however much, but I've never experienced a major tornado in town. I mean, I did kind of in Lawrence. That was the crazy part, but not in Salina. I remember, yeah, being in Lawrence and in the summer of 1996 when I went into a program there to study psychology. Sorry, that's a mess. Yeah, we had a tornado in Lawrence. People that weren't from there were screaming and hollering and crying. I was just like, oh, it's another day in Kansas. Don't worry. Girls were like losing their hair over it, you know. I don't know where they were from. I've even heard people from Chicago say, God damn, you guys like have really strong winds in Kansas. I was like, of course. It's Kansas. You know, it's like this is even harder than Chicago. Like, really? Yeah, I remember sometimes I get my ass blown away by the wind. It's so hard in so in Kansas. But anyways, give me a second. I want to make sure everything's in place, all right, before we go on to this Chinese zodiac lesson. I've studied it for many years. It might help. It might help. Let's see. I don't know what that means. 10.611 PT. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Yeah, I'll look it up real quick. 10.611 PT. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Cisco config. I don't know what that means. I'm just going to tell you what I think. I know what it means, but we'll figure it out along the way. Let's see. I know it's about traits and qualities. We'll just wing this, my friend, all right? We'll just see if we come across it somewhere else. But I have my own interpretation of what I think it could mean, too. But I'll tell you what I think. All right. So we're going to talk about the Chinese zodiac. Right now, we're in the year of the horse. All right. So this is the year of the horse. I think it's like the metal horse. I can't remember. Uh, we're in the year of the horse somewhere in here, but what year are we in? A horse, metal horse, or 2006, 26, Chinese zodiac. Horse, what kind? Element. Okay, we're in the fire. All right. Okay. So this is the Chinese zodiac, all right? And this is like the beginning right here of the lunar year. All right. So we're going rat, ox is the next one. Tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, uh, sheep, monkey, rooster, dog, pig. All right. So make a mental note of that. All you have to do is just understand that it's a cycle. We'll refer to it, but these are animals. This is what you need to know. All right. And then we can get into all this right here later. But right now, just remember there's animals around it. So one is a rat, two is an ox, three is a tiger, four is a rabbit, five is a dragon, six is a snake, seven is a horse, eight is a sheep, nine is a monkey, 10 is a rooster, 11 is a dog, and 12 is a pig. All right. Now, let's go here. Right now, the element of what year we're in right now for the 2026 Chinese zodiac is horse, is fire, making it the year of the fire horse, also known as the red horse. The year runs from February 17th to 26th through February. So we're on a different calendar in here. All right. So we're talking about it occurs every 12 years. It does a 12-year cycle. So we're here, and in 12 years, we'll be back here at the horse. All right. So it's cyclical in terms. So right here, we're in the horse, and in 12 years, we'll be back at the horse. All right. And so, what is the year of the horse bring? The one this year, horse, seventh sign of the Chinese zodiac, fire, yang, occurs every 60 years. The last one was 1966. All right. So you every 60-year cycles, this horse goes through. And this 60-year cycle, we're in the fire one. So there's 12, 12, 24, 36, 48, and 60, right? So fire, I think that's earth. Is that right? Water, metal. No, that might be air, and that might be earth. I'm sorry. But, anyways. All right. So, fire. All right. Personality. What is this trait of the horse that we're looking at? Well, the personality is smart, energetic, brave, and very passionate. The fire element makes the horse even more active, bold, and driven, but it can also lead to stubbornness or quick tempers. Symbolism, a kind time for fast progress, big changes, and high energy. All right, so, but anyways, that's the year we're in. All right, let's go over here. Now we're going to look at the Chinese zodiac. Is a 12-year repeated cycle where every lunar year is assigned an animal. So, okay, there's your animal. But it goes this way, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. In order for the 12 animals, the rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, goat or sheep, monkey, rooster, dog, pig, and the current year 2026 is the year of the horse. All right. So now we go into traits. All right. So we have the 12 animals: the rat, smart, quick, and resourceful. All right. Ox, strong, honest, and hardworking. Tiger, brave, confident, and competitive. Rabbit, quiet, elegant, and kind. Dragon, confident, powerful, and lucky. Snake, wise, graceful, and deep. Horse, energetic, active, and outgoing. Goat, calm, gentle, and creative. Monkey, sharp, smart, and fun. Rooster, hardworking, honest, and courageous. Dog, loyal, honest, and helpful. Pig, kind, generous. And then it says this, but I'm just going to say abundant. All right? Abundant, if that makes sense. Because that's just, every pig I know is abundant in some way. Just, they're abundant in some way. All right? The sign changes every year, Anyways, let's go up here. All right. The Chinese zodiac is a traditional classification scheme based on the Chinese calendar that assigns an animal and its reputed attributes to each year in repeated 12 cycles or duodenary cycle. The zodiac is very important in Chinese culture as a reflection of traditional Chinese philosophy. Chinese folkways held that one's personality is related to the attributes of their zodiac animal originating from China. The zodiac and its variations, blah, blah, and blah. But anyways, there it is. But remember, it's based on a year, not on a month and day calendar, all right? I will get to it eventually. I'm sure we'll come to it somewhere we can look at it, but it's usually based on just a whole year, all right? So here, right here, the 12 Chinese zodiac animals in the cycle not only used to represent years in China, but also believed to influence people's personality, careers, compatibility, marriages, and fortunes. So you're talking about a whole year. You're not talking about month astrology. So we're not saying, March, you're going to be a snake. And April, you're going to be a dog. We're saying like 2026, if you're born during that time, you're all a horse during that year. Or whenever you were born. But still, the calendar shifts, so you don't really know exactly according to the lunar calendar compared to the Gregorian calendar I think we use in America. I think it's the Gregorian calendar. That the Chinese zodiac is different in terms of that. Okay, so we'll go on. What do we want to know about this? Well, there's some fixed elements there. Things like these are the things right here. So these are the things that are really fixed. What your yin and your yang. Like rat is a male, ox is a female. Tiger is a male, rabbit is a female. So you have these like yin and yang, all right? Okay, so such and such, but you have fixed versus, the year you're born also. So it gets more complicated with that. But let's go into the fun stuff. I'm sure we're all just, all right, let's get into fun stuff. So, what's this? All right. I don't know if this is the best one, but I think I can find a better one. Um, this might be fun. Uh, right here. But this goes back. There's stories about like they were all in a race somehow and to become placed in the zodiac by an emperor at the time. All right, so rat are most active in seeking food. Rats also have different numbers of digits on front and hind legs. This, oxen chew their coat, whatever. All right, so uh, anyways, um, yeah. Anyways, let's go through here. Let's look at this. Compatibility. This is where I think everyone really wants to know. Well, who am I compatible with, right? In the Chinese zodiac. And this is where it gets really interesting, I think. This right here, it's totally 100% right in my opinion. But it says Chinese zodiac compatibility uses birth year, animal signs to gauge harmony in love or work. So this is like any relationship you might have. It groups signs into secret harmony pairs. Four remember this, four triangles and direct opposing clashes. So you can test specific pairings using this. All right. So the four trians, the best matches. All right. Signs in the same triangle share world view and energy, making them ideal partners. Rat, dragon, monkey. All right. Those are the three that match together. Smart, ambitious, and action orientated. Now let's look at the chart. It says rat, right? Rat, dragon, monkey, rat, dragon, monkey, rat. Okay. So those are your best matches right there. For ox, snake, rooster. Diligent, methodical, and organized. Ox, snake, rooster. Ox, snake, rooster. Ox, snake, rooster. All right. So we have one thing going there. Another. Tiger, horse, dog. Brave, independent, and energetic. Tiger, horse, dog, tiger, horse, dog, tiger. Okay? Rabbit, goat, pig, gentle, artistic, and compassionate. Rabbit, goat, pig, rabbit, goat, pig, rabbit, goat, pig. So you're starting to see these triangles forming like a star in here. All right. Now, these are your best matches. So take a mental note. So, yeah. But you know what's really funny about this? There's another way to do this. I am the year of the snake. All right. So, how do you know who's your best match? This is how. I'll start with number one, me being a snake. Snake, one. All right. Let's go backwards from a snake. One, two, three, four, five. All right. Rooster. The snake and the rooster are compatible. So 5 years from you. One, two, three, four, five. All right. Now 5 years ahead of the snake. One, two, three, four, five. Ox. Perfect match. One, two, three, four, five. All right. Ox, snake. Does that make sense? So we can do that with the rat. One, two, three, four, five. Dragon. All right. That's going to be like, say, 5 years you're younger. All right. Then we go rat. Rat. One, two, three, four, five. Monkey. So you get the idea. Here's your dangerous pairs, all right? Or no, secret pairs, all right? Like people who secretly get along. Secret friends. This sounds perfect. I've always noticed it too. Uh, 6 harmony pairs, secret friends. Adjacent pairs have deep natural affinity and balance each other's flaws. Rat and ox, tiger and pig, rabbit and dog, dragon and rooster, snake and monkey, horse and goat. Yes, I tend to find myself attracted to people that are secretly attracted to people that are monkeys for some reason. I don't know what it is, but it's always them. I don't know, but monkeys. It's weird, you know. Anyways, the Clash. All right. Now, these are the people, these are going to be your enemies. All right. The 6 clashes, least compatible. Signs sitting 6 years apart face the highest friction and communication hurdles. Rat versus horse. Ox versus goat. Tiger versus monkey. Rabbit versus rooster. Dragon versus dog. Snake versus pig. So I'm a snake. All right. Pig. That's going to probably be my greatest foe. Horse. Rat. Straight across. You're going to have a lot of friction there. Dog. Dragon. A lot of friction there too. This, I always see friction. Every time I see it. Rooster, rabbit, they just go at it. Every time I meet people that are roosters and rats come face to face with, or roosters and rabbits, they always seem, there seems to be like a, oh, you can always, I don't know, something about it. It just, there's something about it, if you know what I mean. I mean, they could be friends, but deep down inside, I feel like they really do hate each other. Um, Each zodiac sign has traditional permanent lucky colors linked to elemental astrology, featuring core shades like red or blue, red, and gold. You can explore comprehensive. Okay. This is what I like to use when I do art. So, this is what I use. uh, or anything that I like to wear, or any concept regarding lucky colors. This is the thing that I use. Uh, Permanent traditional lucky colors: rat, blue, gold, green; ox, white, yellow, green; tiger, blue, gray, orange; rabbit, red, pink, purple, blue; dragon, gold, silver, grayish white. I think this is like when they say grayish white, I think like glitter. Really, honestly, like glittery, kind of shimmery colors that are kind of frosty colors like that. I don't know. But snake, black, red, yellow. I'm a snake. I wear a lot of black. Horse, yellow, green, and I think it's always like brown or something. They left it out. I don't remember, but you might have to do some research on that. Goat, brown, red, purple; monkey, white, blue, gold; rooster, gold, brown, yellow; dog, red, green, purple; pig, yellow, gray, brown, gold. So that's why when you see Chinese things, you always see pigs, like golden pigs, because pigs eat like they eat and they don't really do any work, so they're treated like just wealthy, because all they do is eat and get fat before the slaughter. So, anyways, yeah. So they live easy lives their whole lives. So, um, easy and luxurious lives. They don't have no real jobs to do, just be pigs. And when the time comes to slaughter, they taste great, right? Suckling pig. All right. Chinese zodiac. We got through the colors. Here's the lucky numbers. And we also have flowers. Ain't that kind of neat, huh? So, like the rats, lucky flowers are lily and African violet. Ox is tulip, peach blossoms. Tiger is yellow lily, cinerea. Rabbit, plantain lily, jasmine. Dragon, bleeding heart, glory bower, and dragonflower. Snake, orchid, and cactus. Horse, calla lily and jasmine. Goat, carnations and primroses. Monkey, chrysanthemum and crepe myrtle. And rooster, gladolia and comescock. Every time I meet a rooster, I think gladolias. There's something about roosters and gladolias. They all remind me of a gladolia. Dog, rose, cymbidium, and orchids. Rose, definitely. Dogs and roses do. To me, for some reason, they always seem like they're roses. So, pig, hydrangea, and daisies. So, yeah. And then the unlucky colors. We can get, you know, goat should not wear black. Anyways. Um, mm. I also want to add this while we're at it, because this also helps people understand things a little better. Chinese zodiac gemstones. Do you want to look at that? Yeah, everybody say yay! Gemstones, just because it feels so Western and shit. But here we go. I think these are great too ideas. Um, so yeah, the Chinese zodiac gemstone, rat, garnet, brings courage, momentum, and protection against sorrow. Ox, aquamarine inspires inner peace, mental clarity, and calm. Tiger, sapphire encourages wisdom, leadership, and bold focus. Rabbit, pearl or moonstone, fosters purity, calm, and emotional balance. Dragon, amethyst, shields energy and sharpens intuitive wisdom. Snake, opal, enhances intuition, good luck, and personal power. Horse, topaz, invites vibrant energy, positive warmth, and clear focus. Goat, emerald, nurtures self worth, creative expression, and composure. Monkey, peridot, clears emotional clutter and welcomes fresh starts. Rooster, citrine, attracts confidence, success, and wealth. Dog, diamond, promotes mental clarity and strong energetic boundaries. Pig, ruby, inspires passion, vitality, and hearty courage. So, yeah. Let's go. We seen the chart, and there's more charts, and then it gets more complicated. But anyways, we're in this year. The fire horse will come. You know, the fire horse. You know what that means? Well, basically, the fire when you're in your birth year, like if you're a horse and you're in your birth year, you better stay on the straight and narrow. If you fuck up, you're fighting, trying to fight your fate with whatever, and more than likely you're gonna lose. Same with the rat. You're in direct conflict with the dragon. So any bad moves you make this year, you're gonna end up losing a lot. So this is not the time for rats and horses to fuck around and find out because you're gonna lose everything this year in the year of the horse. You're fighting fate right here and you're challenging fate. And the rat is in direct conflict with the horse. So you're just going to be fighting the hell this year. All you're going to do is just fight, 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 fight. And you're going to lose each time. And even if you win, you'll end up losing. You're gambling away your whole life this year if you want to fight. This was the year to stay on the straight and narrow. So, yeah, anyways, as for me, I was just supposed to do whatever. But yeah, um, be careful this year if you're born in the year of the rat or the horse. It's a bad year for you. So, anyways, You guys have a good day. I hope you like that. I've studied it more. It gets more in depth. That's just to brush the most superficial aspect of it. It goes deeper. I mean, we're getting into big charts. I mean, like deep charts dealing with ancient esoteric, like things like um, lines and hexagrams. With the, it gets complicated. It does. Even I haven't completely did everything, all the research I need on it. It gets complicated. It gets deep into other things. So it's really ingrained into the whole entire thing. So anyways, you guys have a good night. Bye.